How's it look?
Looks a little low. I think it's
Finally starting to set up again, huh?
might be. You can see the fresh mink tracks in the mud right here from the receding water. They like that exposed ground where they can dig for crayfish and whatever else they can find.
Ryan and Kyle here, we're pretty excited. We're gonna drop the boat in on a nice little small river and go chase some summertime smallmouth. And we got a pretty cool presentation we're gonna play with today. Kyle, would you like to tell them about what you've been doing to poke some fish?
Well, we've got a little topwater bite on the river here, and it's been really good throwing a hollow body frog along these shorelines. You can throw it right into the grass, you can throw it into the wood.
So what you're saying is frogs like to live around this kind of stuff, these grass banks and, and these little wetlands, these oxbows that connect to the river. Frogs do live down by the river?
Very much so.
I had a buddy, Matt Parker, we call him the doctor, even though he's actually not a doctor, but he does know a lot. And he once told me and a couple buddies that bass like frogs, which was mind-blowing to me. So we're gonna test that theory today. So let's get the boat in.
All right.
Getting a little skinny here, Kyle. Getting a little skinny here. And rocky, look at that. Yeah, decent. Right off that little grass edge. Huh? Didn't take too long, probably about 10 casts, and got a decent little start to the day. Little hollow body frog. Cool. Sporty little summer bass. We'll get another one. I got him. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
Call that?
Yeah, you called her, Kyle. when it looks like that, yeah, you could go ahead and say we're gonna get bit. Frogging, you know, why not? Especially when you're dealing with summer, late summer, fall. These things are all over the riverbanks right now. They're gonna start migrating as we head into September. Pretty brown bass. You know, and we've talked to guys like Randall Tharp, really good froggers, and they say that baits like this oftentimes have a hooking percentage as good as exposed hook baits, treble hooks, buzz baits, things like that. So we've been throwing these baits a lot this summer with a really good success. Just, you can get it up around the cover where the fish live, in the grass. You're not dropping the bait down where you think the fish is sitting. You're casting beyond it and you're reeling it. And that's a stocky, nice little river fish there.
All right, so we've been fishing the river here, and I got these popping frogs. Ryan's got the little smaller one. This is the baby popper right here, Spro baby pop. That's the one he's using. He's just got a little different color. This is the one I've got. You can see the difference size. I mean, you know, quite a bit smaller. This might be a good option, but I right out of the package, I trimmed the legs on this initially, just because I like them. I usually fold them up right to the head, cut them. But right now, I still think this bait will get them, but I don't want this extra leg on here. I'm gonna take this leg right off right now and just see if that makes a difference. Now they can target that bait, not have anything hanging out back here. They're just solely gonna be targeting where the hook lives. So I'm gonna try that. And if I continue to struggle, they're just not getting it very good and I can't get them hooked up very well. Ryan seems to be doing a lot better. So I'm gonna give this a shot right now. That one came right off the shoreline. That one was right in a little weed bed. Boy, he got that one, that's for sure. Oh yeah, that's where you like to see that frog, always. He's got it real good. Right there. Look at that. Right in the yap. You like seeing them come out of the water and you can't see that frog at all. It's gone. So maybe making that little adjustment, tweaking your baits, can definitely help up your hooking ratio. I had another smaller one that I hooked and he got off, but at least had him hooked. I was having trouble just getting him hooked in the first place. So right there, a little stubby tail. I'm not worried about walking that bait or anything like that in order to, you know, I know the tails help that bait walk a little bit, but right now I'm just spitting water and making that thing really pop loud. And they'll get it.
Cool, man, that thing just erupted. I watched him come out of the wood and just inhale it. Oop. Nice little fish. Really visual bite, but that's a great example of the hollow body frog. About the most weedless bait in the whole wide world, the most woodless too. On rivers for bass and smallmouth bass in particular on this day. But that bait, you can cast it right to where the fish are. Overhanging banks, cast it onshore, pull it in, right on those cut banks, throw it up in the log jams. I can fish exposed treble hook lures in those scenarios. So this little guy right here, this is a little Spro popper, a little junior size here, and it's a deadly tool. Kyle's fishing a little bit bigger one, and cool presentation.
So when you're coming up to these log jams or you're flowing down, going down river, we like to hit the back side of these log jams. So sometimes the best parts of them, those fish like to hold on the downriver side of it for whatever reason, if it's slack current or if they can ambush their prey a little easier.
Got it. Ooh! Look at them. See how much they move? They're crazy. Wow! Oh! There he is. Ooh, wow, that sucker almost jumped in the boat, man. That sucker actually almost came in the boat within about 2 inches, literally over the gunnel. There he is. Nice one, man. That was cool. We just got that one. I said, let's tail him down. I think we'll catch another. And he came right off that rock out there. Several big rocks in a row making a nice current break. And this guy was sitting right on it. You know, rod and reel for this style of fishing, you can keep it pretty simple. Just grab your favorite bass rod that you like to go throw a frog around with, or go throw a Texas rig or a jig. Something in that medium heavy to heavy action, 7 foot, 7'2". Doesn't have to be anything special. Today, I'm actually going a little lighter than I do when I'm fishing largemouth bass in heavy cover. I'm fishing smallmouth, but there's a lot of sparse cover, so I don't need to be pulling them out of huge grass mats. And I want this right here. I want that tip, that extra fast tip. I'm throwing this little Bronzeye Pop Junior. It's a smaller bait, so I don't need a huge heavy rod. And I've scaled back my braid. I'm fishing 30-pound test, Suffix 832 today. Plenty of horsepower to get these fish hooked and out of the cover. Reel, this is a 13 Fishing Inception. Great price point reel that performs really good. Obviously, I can cast these tiny little frogs perfectly fine with it on this 30-pound braid. And then tomorrow, if I'm going worm fishing, I'll just throw on my Texas rig. So Kyle's in the back of the boat with his Lamborghini. 13 was kind enough to let him experience the Archangel. That's a 7'2" medium heavy that he's using on his Concept C. I will say reel is critical. The faster the line retrieve, the better. It used to be 7-to-1, 7-2-to-1, 7-3-to-1. Today, not so much. We've seen the 8-to-1s, and we've even seen reels now getting in that 9-to-1 gear ratio range. And we'll take that all day long. It allows us to, when we have a bow in the line, go tight on that fish. We have a bow in the line like that, the fish takes it. I'm not gonna set the hook on that fish right away. I'm gonna reel down on that fish, the line's gonna go tight, and then I'm gonna stick them. So, got him. Another nice river smallie. Cool. Kyle's going in for the cutaway. And we hook up. Look at that bend though, that's just nice. Just a nice rod, not too stiff, you know, I wanna feel the fish. I wanna have a good time with that fish. Medium heavy, heavy. A tip to work the bait and a tip to stick them. That stuck them right there. Sharp gamakatsu hook. Nice smallmouth there, huh?
The objective with that is trying to make about as much noise as you possibly can with your presentation, throwing it in the grass, up on the river clumps where the bank erodes, and then in the log jams, of course. You can throw that right into the wood, and you don't have to be quiet about it, you don't have to be polite about it. You can quite frankly get real rude with this thing and pop it and smack it and spit it, and they come roaring out of that stuff for it.